is their tallest building, and they've got a glass slide that takes you from one floor to another floor outside.
Oh,
Oh,
That
wow.
looks like fun.
Yeah. I would do that, I think.
Hey,
Yeah,
David.
you only live once. Come on.
All
Hey,
right.
guys.
Hey, David.
Hi, David.
Well, today's plans changed and then changed again. Oh, excuse me. We were going to do this at 3 o'clock. And then actually in the after hang, how many people, show of hands, were in the little after hang on Thursday? So you guys were sitting there when we got the news. We're sitting there in the after hang just chatting with you guys, and Denise points up at my other computer, and there's an email. It says, "Remembering Sam Leopold." And she points at it. She's like, what's that? So in real time, I'm hanging out with you guys, and I look up at the email, and a man that was on It's Just Us, January of 2021, right? January of 2021. We had a great time. I've got Brandon looking for that show. I don't have it in my computers, but I think Zoom records them someplace. So I got Brandon out in Detroit trying to find the show that Sam was on, because it was great, and you guys all loved him. Does anybody remember Sam Leopold on this show? Show of hands, right? Just an amazing songwriter, a nice guy, good friend, good man. I shouldn't say good friend. We weren't close, like we weren't in touch, but he was a good man, and I admired him as a man and as a songwriter. And I don't know how he died. He was young. He was just a little over 70 years old. Anyway, so then George and I, is that George Wurzbach there in that little box? Hey, George. Is that the new renovated home?
Yeah, but it's outside these walls.
Okay.
I would take you on a tour, but I'm using an iMac, so I'd have to put it up on,
Right, strap it on your back.
up on the back.
Anyway, I'm glad to see you're sitting at the piano. I'm thinking today we'll do a little of Sam's music. Let me. So I'm just wondering, George, do you play anything by Sam?
I don't. I'm with his songs, and I would certainly have absolutely no recall of his lyrics.
Right.
David, you were using the word "good" in describing Sam, and then qualified the term whether you're a good friend or not, or close friend. But as good is so. Am I cutting in and out?
A little bit.
Yeah. How's that? Any better?
I think a little
good
better.
is just such an appropriate word for him.
Yeah.
Yes, he was an excellent songwriter and such, but he was a really good person.
Yes.
And if you Google him and look for some of his YouTubes and such, you can see what I'm talking about. He's one of those guys who is seriously committed to making the world a better place. There wasn't much politics in his position, except when it was absolutely necessary. But there are a lot of videos up there of him and his songs and him, doing what he did so well. I've known him for it's got to be at least over 30, 35 years, and remember when I had. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is cutting in and out. I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm only sitting here with $25,000 worth of recording equipment. And I'd probably be better off with my my iPhone. But when I met him, he was involved in a project where he was working as a counselor with adults with serious psychological, emotional disabilities. What he was doing with them is he was gathering their thoughts. He would he would mention subject matter, whatever, and he was gathering their thoughts. And I don't. What was stunning is these were people who I don't think ever anyone in their lives ever said to them, "What do you think?" Since they could basically they couldn't even take care of their basic needs. Nobody's going to ask them what they think. But Sam did, and they all had thoughts. And what he would do is he would take these thoughts, these comments, and he would string them together, make a song out of it, and then he would teach it to everyone else, and they would just sing the song. And this is when I first met him about 35 years ago that he was doing that, and I saw on his YouTubes and such that these are the kinds of things that he continued to do. And it's just a great loss. And I have to echo what David said about I was not actually a good close friend of his, but he was that type of person where even if you just plugged in now and then, he made you feel like you are a really a great friend of his. And I hope that you can find that Just Us with him on it, because he was absolutely brilliant. But don't go to YouTube and search him and see some of the other things he's done.
You know what I'll do, George, too, is that I have I think it's probably based in Europe somewhere, but it's a website that I use to illegally rip videos from YouTube, and then I bring them here. And so I'll do that for the next Tang for sure. I'll go find, because he lived and founded some kind of like a commune just north of the city, a completely self-sustainable farm that people lived in. They had counseling, and they had environmental programs, and he, again, just an amazing, nice, good man. And you guys knew that. You could just sense it from him when he was here. I'm going to play some of his songs here. He's the guy that after he left the songwriter circle down at the Red Lion, he wrote a song called A Song About Nothing. And so I covered that song, and we would end every session of the Songwriters Guild of America's, the SGA Songwriters Circle, with A Song About Nothing by Sam Leopold, months and years after he left. That became our closing song. But he did write one anti-war song that's really powerful. I'm going to play for you guys a little bit later. But let's start the way we always do. I'm going to start with a James Taylor tune. We'll do our song. If I can, I'll share you that. I was telling you guys about that parody that I wrote about the Speaker of the House a few years ago. It's short, so I'll share that with you guys. And then we'll get into it. We'll see where this goes. I'm glad George is sitting at his piano, because we got to get a song out of George. You don't get... I can call George a good friend. We don't hang out like as much, but I hang out with George as much as I hang out with anybody, if that says anything about me, except Denise. So let's do, let me try this. Let me try this. I don't know why for today. Life, death, oh man. Wake up, Susie, put your shoes on, walk with me into this light. Finally this morning, I'm feeling whole again. It was a hell of a night just to be with you by my side, just to have you here in my sight, just to walk a while in this light, just to know that life goes on. Wake up, Susie, put your shoes on, walk with me into this light. Another night has gone, life goes on, another dawn is breaking. Turn and face the sun, one by one, the world outside is waking. Morning light has driven away all the shadows that hide your way, and night has given away to the promise of another day, another day, another chance that we may finally find our way, another day. Old sun has begun to chase all our fears away, another day, another day. Oh, wake up, Susie, put your shoes on, walk with me into this light. I think that song might be, it inspired one of my lyrics, and it's just that line, another chance that we may finally find our way. It actually might have inspired the next time around. That was originally called the New Year's song, but, oh, and by the way, I played you guys me singing, it's just a little clip of it, the last hang, because I'm asked to sing next time around at Kara Unterberg's party every single New Year's. Here's just like 10 seconds of it. So everybody sings that at that party and everything, but it occurred to me too, since we did the session about Sid Bernstein and that little button, that little Imagine Peace button, that the very last concert at Merkin Concert Hall that Sid attended, we did that song because Sid was in the house, and that's where the thing about Around the Clock started. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's do our song. Karen, you got your ukulele? Willie, you got your line? Everybody else, I can see your lips moving. This is really weird. Today I see Kathy in Las Vegas isn't moving. She isn't in a car or in the aisle of a store or walking across a parking lot. This is really interesting. She's actually sitting still. And there's Marcy and Stuart. How you guys doing? I'm looking at Switzerland, the Netherlands, Las Vegas, Boston, Colorado. This is cool. Said you woke up feeling frightened, senses heightened, overwhelmed, lost and alone, a little overwrought until you finally thought that you'd drop it all and pick up the phone. And I didn't do nothing but really listen to everything you had to say, till I knew that you'd be okay. The next week it was my turn. I was in a slow burn about something or nothing at all. I don't even remember, but I remember I was hurting, so I gave you a call. And you didn't do nothing but really listen to everything I had to say, till you knew that I'd be okay. We take turns being angels for one another. not all crazy on the same day. Thumbs up, is the sound okay today? And in the back of a taxi, I heard talk radio, one of those shows people call when they want to know what life's about. A big fat mouth was at a mic going on and on about he's out to get you if you don't watch out. It's funny, but the phony probably makes a lot of money to create a little panic every day. But I think we found a better way. We take turns being angels for one another, 'cause there's never been a day when we all want to stay under the covers. I think we're all just lucky that it works that way. Thank heaven we're not all crazy on the same day. Let him have it, Willie.
I'm not crazy, but this cat is. Meow, 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 meow.
I don't even know. We take turns being angels for one another, 'cause there's never been a day when we all want to stay under the covers. We're just damn lucky that it works that way. Thank heaven we're not all crazy on the same day. On the same day. We're not crazy, crazy on the same day. Take us out, Karen.
Da-dum, 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 da-dum.
Yay! Very cool. All right. I can't let this day go by without some of you, even you guys in Europe. I know Eveline follows American politics, I think, more than most Americans do. And Eveline is one of the few people I've ever met. Eveline in Switzerland is one of the very few people I've ever met who has turned Twitter into a good place. I don't know how she did it, but she's got a wonderful little Twitterverse going on for herself, when I found it to be just like the ugliest neighborhood on the planet. But I was telling you guys about, when this debacle was happening with the Speaker of the House years ago. I think it was 2015. I wrote a parody the last time there was a clusterfuck about becoming Speaker of the House, when John Boehner, who I actually forgot was as orange as Donald Trump, before we ever knew about Donald Trump, he was as orange as Donald Trump. And when he just decided to sing Zippity Doo-Dah and quit one day, resign one day, he left them all up in the air, and I wrote a parody about it back then, and I was telling you guys about it, so let me just share it with you now before we get started. Congress is broken, but have you heard? What's going on now is simply absurd. Watching the news on my TV, chaos ensues in the GOP. There's a vacancy, but no one wants the job. So I'm feeling strangely sorry for the next poor slob. Speaker of the House, no one wants to be the designated mouthpiece of the GOP. After Boehner quit, left without a plan, left with no replacement for the orange man. Everybody thought McCarthy was to be the next in line. But when he got the call, he said, I inexplicably decline. So Ryan might be next, has a strange mystique, with that little Eddie Munster widow's peak, but doesn't think he can put up with the gripes
of those anti-government party types. Says I have to think about it. He says I'd like to ask my spouse. He says it's all too shaky. Please don't make me Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House, no one wants to be the designated liar for the GOP. After being a prick, left without a plan, left with no replacement for the orange man. Once it used to take a lion, but now it only takes a mouse. Lots of little prayers are prayed, 'cause everyone's a freaking afraid. Everyone's afraid that they'll be made the Speaker of the House.
That was a mess back then. That didn't even that didn't come close to what happened this past week. You know what? While we got George here, let me yeah, George, do you have a song? Can you just do a song like now? I think you're muted.
Can you
I
hear
know I
that?
hear you, I think.
I'm just I can hear myself cutting in and out though, but can you hear the piano?
No.
Is your original sound on?
Yeah.
You sure?
That little thing on the top that says original sound for musicians?
Yeah, I see that, but I've got everything going through my computer, and it's coming out of.
See, this is why I'm better off, because I don't know anything. If you go to George's studio, it looks like you could launch the space shuttle from that thing. He's got.
But I can't get my sound on Zoom. What the hell?
Not hearing anything.
No. Well, why don't you move ahead and
All right,
I'll-
you work on that. All right, let's work on that because I got some. In fact, you know what? Let me do. This is the song. I don't think I used to play it in G. It's a song about nothing. It ain't got no message. It ain't got no meaning. No reason for being. I'm standing here singing. I think so. Where'd you think it was? Someplace else? I don't know either. Anyway, Sam wrote this song, and we used to end every night with it because we'd go around. The songwriter's circle, by the way, was just a great thing. I've told you guys about this, and we were all such idiots because nobody recorded them. We didn't realize that for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, it was golden. It was a songwriter's circle with George Wurzbach, Skip Brevis, Jake Holmes, John Wallowich, myself, a couple of different people that used to come in. Allie, who used to sit in on those?
Buskin.
Oh, Dave Buskin used to sit in. But Tom Chapin sat in 2 times.
And then Galia sometimes with her friend.
Talia Arad, she was
Right.
golden.
Yeah.
But she came later. In the early days, when
Chris
George was hosting it, it was.
Tedesco used to show up also.
Who's that?
Chris Tedesco.
Chris Tedesco. That's where I met Chris Tedesco.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we didn't record them. We used to try out different songs. Anyway, but Sam Leopold would show up, and he would, here's a new song I'm working on, and he'd play these songs, and he was just such a fine songwriter. But then at the end, we would do this. Here's a song about nothing. It ain't got no meaning. It ain't got no message. No reason for being. I'm standing here singing, and you're sitting there listening to a song about nothing at all. It ain't about a card game, and it ain't about hard times, and it ain't about New York, and it ain't about Baltimore, and it ain't about outlaws, and it ain't about in-laws. It ain't about nothing at all. You might hear it in Tokyo, you might hear it in Idaho, you might hear it on the radio. I just thought you might wanna know. It ain't got no message, it ain't got no meaning. It ain't about nothing at all. It ain't about Donald Trump, and it ain't about the city dump, and it ain't about nuclear bombs, and it ain't about single moms, and it ain't about enlightenment, and it ain't about paying rent. It ain't about the government, about nothing at all. It'll never be a classic, it'll never be a wedding song, it'll never be a jingle, and it'll never be a sing-along. It's got a lot of attitude, you can listen, but it's up to you. It's a song about nothing at all. It don't have a big ending, you don't get a big climax. It won't ask you for anything, you never see it at the IMAX. You ain't never get your money back, and I'll never get a Cadillac with a song about nothing at all. That was a Sam Leopold. You know what? Let me show you this. This the one George was talking about Sam's rare political stance, but he was like everything about his life was political because he lived the liberal life. He was generous. He was compassionate. Anyway, but he wrote this song that I thought was just powerful. First time I ever heard this was at the Red Lion.
Everybody's moving out of the city. Everybody's moving off of the farm. Everybody's moving out of the city. Everybody moving off of the farm. Ain't no chickens in the barnyard. Ain't no cows in the corn. Ain't no roots in the root cellar. And you got no roots to hold you down. You got no roots to hold you down. No, no. In times of pain and trouble, you could find your bed with only sky above you and rocks beneath your head. And though you're all unsettled, it's all been seen before. In times the soul was fettered, in times we went to war, in times of transmigration, times to choose upside, times of prideful nation, times of genocide. When you're upside down and backwards in a tailspin of a fall, you could read it right to left or left to right, but you got to read the writing on the wall. Everybody's moving out of the city. Everybody moving off of the farm. Everybody moving out of the city. Everybody moving off of the farm. Ain't no chickens in the barnyard. Ain't no cows in the corn. Ain't no roots in the root cellar. And you got no roots to hold you down. Got no roots to hold you down. In times of pain and trouble, you could find your before. When times the soul was fettered, in times we went to war, in times of transmigration, times to choose up sides, times of prideful nation, times of genocide. When you're upside down and backwards in a tailspin of a fall, you could read it right to left or left to right, but you got to read the writing on the wall. You could read it right to left or left to right, but you got to read the writing on the wall. You could read it right to left or left to right, but you got to read the writing on the wall. You could read it right to left or left to right, but you got to read the writing on the wall.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. That's just Sam and a single guitar. He recorded much of the album that's on in a walk-in closet on an Edirol, a Roland Edirol recorder about the size of a pack of cigarettes. He got amazing sound out of that thing, and he lived up in the country, and he would go in this walk-in closet that was his sound booth, and he recorded that song on this little Edirol recorder. George, did you ever get the piano working? Go ahead. I hear something.
Yeah. Can you hear that?
Yep.
You can? You can hear that?
Yes.
And you can hear my voice?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I still.
Oh, it's cutting out though.
Yeah, I hear myself cutting out. Yeah, this might not work. Oops. Any better?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was able to get some really great recordings, and you know, while I was listening to that, I remember Sam saying that you know, I had actually been to his house once way back, and he was showing me. At that point, it wasn't when he was living on the farm. He was living in the woods in a house, but it wasn't the commune that he ended up on. And he was showing me where he does this recording, and I'm not kidding. It was this like little closet underneath underneath the stairs, and yeah. But what I mean, obviously, the thing with people like Sam is when you've got something great that you're starting out with, the recording just kind of follows. You know, you can just put a microphone in front of somebody if you've got the feel and the voice and the songs and the so that certainly helps. And yeah.
Give these guys something. A little George cutting in and out is better than no George at all.
Yeah, let me play. I'll play my. You guys have heard of this. I know David does this from time to time. It's either about eternal optimism or chronic denial. And this is working for you?
Yep.
I used to walk through this world, cautious and oh so serious, till the life I was living was nearly a near-death experience. Then I changed my story when I finally saw where I was and wasn't where it was at. And now I'm alive, I let destiny drive, and now I'm stretching out in the back. If I lose my job
I'll sleep till noon if the news is bad. I'll watch cartoons, and if my house burns down, I'll have lots more room and a much better view of the moon. In the vastness of space, the ever-expanding universe, we are all little specks of galactic dust here on Mother Earth. Now I ain't no preacher, don't know if I'll reach ya, but here is some humble advice. Use your uncommon sense, and you surely will live an uncommonly sensible life. If I lose my job, I'll sleep till noon. If the news is bad, I'll watch cartoons. And if my house burns down, I'll have lots more room and a much better view of the moon. Yeah, much better view of the moon.
Oh, man. George is one of those guys like Sam. George, you don't know how good you are, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you, David. That's nice of you to say that. I did want to add, just completely off topic, that there's some really exciting things going on in astrophysics. You guys have probably been looking at it. I heard this or read this wonderful article in the Times about the possibility of a time machine, and it was the most logical thing that if you could travel faster than the speed of light, then you could get before the image of what it is you're trailing. So you would actually be moving in time. And I'm really glad they hire wonderful reporters and columnists for the New York Times, because otherwise you'd have to take my explanation of this reading somebody's account. But there are some wonderful things going on. I'm excited.
It is. It's listen, man. It's nice for me to be living with somebody who is a documentary nerd like I am, and but also a Stephen Wright nerd and a George Wurzbach fan. That's the old thing. If you're driving at the speed of light and you turn on your headlights, what happens? Your headlights, what happens? I should do. You know what I did? I wrote a song. I wrote a song that might be the closest I've come. In fact, George said the other day when we were going to go up to, oh, by the way, George, how's the car?
It's still down in Jersey. Had to have it towed to a garage, and they're not open on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay. All right. So we were supposed to go to Sam's place. They were going to do some kind of memorial there, I guess. And then George's car just conked out, which is why we're here today doing this. But I wrote to George last night and said, because he was going to swing by here, pick me up in Washington Heights, and then we were going to drive up. And I just told him, don't press it, because Sam's not going to be there. And George wrote back, well, maybe Sam is everywhere now. And I'm a big fan of Maybe. So I wrote this song a while ago, and if there's ever a day to play it, it's a day like this.
I saw her. I saw you here today. Is that the?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I thought of when I got your email. I went, yeah, you hit it right on the head with that one.
Right. Yeah. Let's do this. moving through the sorrow, letting go reluctantly. When I thought of each tomorrow that you wouldn't share with me, some said you're in a better place to help them face the fact that you were gone, that you moved on. But I tell them I know better, because almost from the start I knew there was no better place for you than in my heart. Still they said nothing lasts forever, everything must have an ending, or like a song. But I know they're wrong. Though some may think it's poetry, one amazing truth I've found. In the most real way, you're here today. If I just look around, I saw you here today, and you caught me by surprise. I was hanging with our friends, and I could see you in their eyes. And we all laughed when we remembered things you used to say. And it's okay, 'cause you weren't far away. I saw you here today. Yeah, I remember yesterday, the sunshine and the tears. But nothing good that's in this world completely disappears. So I'm not crazy if I recognize those moments that I still run into you. 'Cause I know it's true. Now it's far from me to understand some plan or grand design. I'm just a small piece of forever in a never-ending line. But I saw you here today in the circle of our friends, and in the way we tell our stories now, your story never ends. You took so much love with you, but you left so much behind, that now I find you're not just on my mind. I saw you here today. I know that you're okay, 'cause I saw you here today. You know, Sam wrote a song. He told a story. I don't know, George, if you ever heard this story. When he was on It's Just Us, I asked him about a song that he wrote that I think I've known so many women who should hear this song that he wrote. And I asked him where it came from. And he told this story about somebody that he knew, a married woman, had been married for 30, 40 years. And her husband died. And when he died, she asked either her son or Sam, I can't remember if Sam helped. But when her husband died, she asked them to burn down the garage. And she never told them why. She just asked them to burn down the garage, and they did. Let me play this song for you. It's, again, one of the most beautiful and poignant and powerful songs I've ever heard. And when Sam told that story about the woman having them burn down the garage, I gotta find that recording, and I've gotta let you hear Sam tell that story. But this is a song that he wrote called The Dancer.
She cleaned the place, pulled down the shades, fixed up her face, let down her hair, turned off the phone and danced there all alone. Now 30 years is a long, long time to lose your heart and keep your mind with all the secrets no one has known. She's dancing all alone. She dances slow, her eyes are closed, a little cha-cha, soft mambo. She's all alone. He isn't there, she's not aware, she's in a space they never share, dancing all alone. This empty house, once full of kids, will never tell the things they did. But she'll sleep all right now in her clean white bed and dance there all alone. She picks a tune, some candlelight, some sweet perfume, the kind she likes a bit too soon. But she's all right, she dances all alone. She dances slow, her eyes are closed, a little cha-cha, sweet mambo. She's all alone. He isn't there, she's not aware, she's in a space they never shared, dancing all alone. The day he died, she cleaned the place, pulled down the shades, fixed up her face, let down her hair, turned off the phone and danced there all alone.
Just another amazing song. I got to tell you, I had a friend named John LaGrassa, and some of you, Karen might know remember John LaGrassa from The Hill. Good-looking man, and another good friend. He was a sailor, and he was where was he, in the BVI's? Yeah, he was in the British Virgin Islands, and he and his girlfriend were snorkeling, and and he got hit by a boat, and it killed him. And he's one of those guys that, when the news came, you just don't know where to put it. And to me, I'm still not believing it. I'm still not believing John LaGrasse is gone. And Sam is like one of those guys. I don't know if I'm listening to his music, and it does not sound like Sam is gone. I just don't know what it is. It's kind of landing on me the same way. But that's life. You know what? Let me do a song. While I got George here, I have a song that George played on, and not only did he, it's one of the newer songs, which means it's probably a year and a half old, but it's one of the newer songs. George played on it, but he not only played on it, he had the idea to put some sampled horns, a sampled horn section on this. And so I made a TV track for it, and it's one of my stabs at a John Prine-like song. When you hear the mariachi band, that's George. Who, baby, what do you know when things ain't going right? Got a new place I love to go, anytime, day or night. Who, darling, you know what I hear? There's room enough for two, and all of my troubles disappear whenever I'm there with you. Who, baby, what do you say? Our own sweet place to hide. Make crazy love in our crazy way, leave the crazy world outside. Sweet chocolate, strawberries, flights of fantasy. Goodness knows that anything goes whenever you're there with me. Don't know if there's a God above, but if there was, I'd thank it, 'cause I found a whole new kind of love under that Mexican blanket. Woo! George, you gotta check out the little Brady Bunch box. In Colorado, they got a Mexican blanket. Well, I've been around the block a time or two. Now's a good time to admit it. We like our loving the way we do. Been there, done that, did it. Who, pretty girl? Well, I'm pretty sure it don't matter anyhow. So just lose the laundry at the door, and I'll meet you there right now. Don't know if there's a God above, but if there was, I'd thank it, 'cause I found a whole new kind of love under that Mexican blanket.
Let's go.
Mariachi. Don't know if there's a God above, but if there was, I'd thank it, 'cause I found a whole new kind of love under that Mexican blanket. A whole new different kind of love under that Mexican blanket. Woo! Let's go. Yay! There was one week when Valerie in Chicago and Alan Suzanne in Colorado and Valerie in Chicago, Alan Suzanne in Colorado, Angelique in the Netherlands. They were all holding up Mexican blankets. Mexican blankets all around the world. And I see Karen playing along on the uke. I wish we had the technology. Wouldn't that be a blast? Have George playing in Brooklyn, Karen up in Washington Heights on the ukulele, Chris Tedesco out in Rockaway. Just don't have the technology yet. We're close. Oh, you know what I should do, George? We had, in fact, I showed everybody a photograph of you with Peter, Paul, and Mary backstage someplace, and you had a like a Casio or something on your lap, and you were playing a song for them. It might have been Much Better View of the Moon, because they were sitting there just rapt, just enthralled. Do you remember what song you were playing for them in that photo?
4 or 5 songs. They were looking for material for their next album, and so I was just playing them an assortment of things. And
Oh, no shit.
of course, they didn't choose any of them, but
Well, what the hell did they know?
they did make a wonderful audience, and it's a great
It's a
photograph.
great photo, and I showed it because Peter Yarrow was a guest here a few hangs ago. I'll show, for anybody that missed it, I'll show a little bit of that, because we got to sing as best we could. We got to sing together over Zoom, which is like impossible, but we took a run at it. George, you got another song now that the piano's working?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, give us the song.
Okay, so this is it's a departure. I don't usually get to play this for, especially David, your friends and such, but you'll have to indulge me on this one, I think. You can hear this, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Dear Otto, I am worried. Last night I saw the man who's been causing such a big commotion. And Otto, it was frightening how the crowd was driven mad, so affected by his voice, his motion. Dear Aaron, you're a statesman, I'm surprised by what you think. The man incites a beer hall mob who've had too much to drink. The times are hard, he has their ear, but in a year they'll ask themselves, who was he? Trust me, Aaron, trust me. Dear Otto, it's astounding how he's gone from rabble-rousing to the courting the local gentry. And Otto, he accuses me and all the sons of Zion for the troubles that besiege our country. Dear Aaron, this is politics, you've heard it all before. And your people are the scapegoat that he's been looking for. Let him point his angry finger. Any sane man knows you've been accused unjustly. Trust me, Aaron, trust me. Dear Otto, they salute him like the Romans hailed their Caesar, and he fills their hearts with fear and hatred. Last night they broke my window and scrawled upon my wall a blood-red Star of David. Aaron, he's a criminal, we'll handle him in time. Though perhaps for now it might be best that you resign. But there are those of us who speak up, and sure enough we'll stop him as he must be. Trust me, Aaron, trust me. Trust me.
Oh, I remember the first time I heard that song at the Red Lion, and you ended that song right there and took your hands off the keyboard, and I couldn't breathe. And I think everybody in the place felt that way. And at that time, couldn't have imagined what was going to happen in the Oval Office years later.
Yeah, absolutely. That was frightening.
Couldn't imagine it. But man, thanks for that song.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate that.
It's those are the songs that you know, I don't know what it feels like for other songwriters, but for me, those are the songs that you wish you didn't have to write. But we have to write those songs. That's why it's a pleasure when somebody like Sam comes along and writes a song about nothing. Oh, you know what? Let's share with you guys. One time when George was here, I think just before the pandemic, so it's got to be 2.5, 3 years ago, right? Yeah, got to be. George came up to the studio of It's Just Us. Maybe was it still the weekly show, or was it It's Just Us? I think it was It's Just Us. Well, we'll know in a second. Yeah, that's right. We'll know in a second. And George sang, played. We did Delete Request, and all of you guys, we showed George in the chat room what it looked like when you all guys went click, when we did the click. So if you feel like doing it now in the chat room, do it again. But this was like one of the first times we ever did it online. But let's show George first what we do with Delete Request, and then yeah, let's do Hannibal. What the hell?
What the hell?
I got George here.
What the hell?
Say that I'm a Facebook guy, but doing what I do, I won't deny. I got a Facebook page like everybody else I see. Now every single day, a dozen requests come my way from strangers who wanna be friends with me. Nobody needs 5,000 friends. There's a button, so it depends. It'll take a minute to take a little look at that fool's timeline. When I think about the things that matter most to me, I can tell by the things they post if he or she would ever be a friend of mine. If they are a member of the NRA, I couldn't care less what they have to say. If they think it's un-American for someone to take a knee, if they want me to pray and type amen, if they want to make America great again, what would ever make them think they'd ever want to be friends with me? Delete request. Hey, you gotta look in the chat room. You guys gonna click? Delete request. It's easy enough for me to gauge who you are when I visit your Facebook page. It's all right there, so I can figure pretty quick. You can see very fine people in a Nazi crowd, or shooting an elephant makes you proud. Well, there's no doubt which button I'm bound to click. Somebody said, hey, listen, dude, it's that tribal attitude that's keeping you from hearing what the other guy has to say. Well, you might think it's a fancy algorithm that's keeping me from having a conversation with them, but I know what I'm doing. I just don't want to ruin my day. If you post sexist, racist jokes, if you think climate change is a left-wing hoax, if you think that a hurricane is the holy sign, if you want your God in my public schools, if you want to build a wall like a lot of damn fools, what would ever make you think you'd be a friend of mine? Delete request. And you know what's cool about this? Delete request. We get a solo from George. fuck what you have to say. If you think it's un-American for some of us to take a knee, if you want me to pray and type amen, if you want to make America great again, what would ever make you think you'd ever want to be friends with me? Delete request. Delete request. Get it, Doc? Delete request. Big finish. Bye-bye now. Cool. Isn't that cool?
I like that. That's really nice. Yes, and it's right in time too. which is really-
That was in the early days.
Love his shirt.
Was I what shirt was I wearing then?
Not yours, his.
Oh, George's? Hang on a second. Oh, was that the
Let's show
yes.
That was- Yes.
What we do. That was the baby finger.
That was the
from George's Beatles birthday. Oh, by the way, Allie, you saw both the documentary and that film, right?
unbelievable. I mean, I have, you know, because of Denise, I have the book for over a year now. But it was just, I mean, I couldn't pick myself up off the chair to do anything while it was on. I was just mesmerized. And I fell in love with him, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
In case anybody's wondering, show of hands, how many people are aware of the book that Allie's holding up now? The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Charlie Mackesy, they did a documentary. At first, they turned that into a 34-minute animated film. And it's just
Did you also notice the butterfly that came through?
Yes. Yes. And it's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Book.
But the documentary is maybe more beautiful than the film.
Yeah.
About the author and illustrator. And I keep telling Denise that she's next. That's precisely her gig. Without a doubt. I don't have a doubt in my mind. We just have to take the next steps. But it's a beautiful film and a wonderful documentary. What I'm going to do is, some people don't have Apple TV. I know Nancy was saying that she doesn't. And the SAG Awards are coming up. And so they send me every fucking thing ever filmed. And so I'm thinking, if they send me a DVD with that on it, I might be able to find a way to rip it and share it. It's only 34 minutes long. And believe me, after 8 million copies sold worldwide, I don't think Charlie Mackesy would have a problem with me sharing that with you guys. So I'll try to do that. I remember I was just saying to George that, you know, Otto and Aaron is one of those songs we wish we didn't have to write. I think it would surprise people that don't hang out and it's just us, or that don't know me well. I think it would really surprise a lot of people how much I loathe politics. I'm not a wonk. I'm not a politics junkie. I really generally don't like politics. But it's part of the job description. But when we write songs like Otto and Aaron, or we write songs like Where's the Voice, or Tired of Being Lied to, I remember when I first started writing like that, and people in the park would be like, Dave, what the fuck? Man, just, shut up and sing. Or why don't you just play, Cat Stevens and Harry Chapin? Why do you have to play that kind of shit? And I wrote this song. I wasn't planning on playing it today, but this was. You don't know what's in my heart. Nope. You don't know what's in my soul. No, you can't
see what's going on inside my soul. So what makes you think that you can tell me when to rock and when to roll? You don't see inside my heart. No, you don't know what's going on inside my heart. So you don't know how deeply I can love and what makes me fall apart. Now I'm a man who won't think twice. I'll listen to a friend's advice, another woman or another music man. Someone who is in the game, some roads whose road look much the same, 'cause I'm just trying to do the best I can. But you don't play the way I play. No, you don't hear the music that I hear from day to day. So what makes you think that you can tell me what to sing or what to say? You don't see the world I see. No, you don't see life as it seems possible to me. So what makes you think that you can tell me what to do or who to be? But somehow you think you just might be someone who has got the right to tell me what to do for my own good. But just consider something else. You got a choice to keep it to yourself. Believe me when I say I wish you would. But you don't see inside my soul. No, you don't know what's going on inside my soul. So what makes you think that you can tell me when to rock and when to roll? When to rock and when to roll? When to rock?
That was a musical fuck you a long time ago. But sometimes you have to write the musical fuck you. I should probably share this. I wish I had that photograph that I showed. I think it was the last hang. I showed that photo of George with Peter, Paul, and Mary. You guys get a kick out of this. If anybody missed this, I'm just gonna one verse of it, but this was what we tried to do when Peter showed up here.
We're breaking, you know.
We did it. We were so excited. It worked. It worked. It was so funny. It was a magic miracle.
You can't hear.
That's very cool.
Okay, here we go. I'll do the first line, and Bethany do the second. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man?
How many years must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand?
And now, David.
And how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned?
Together now. The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind.
Blowing in the wind.
The answer is blowing
in the wind.
Just a little bit of that. It was very cool. And actually, here I was singing so quietly because Peter didn't realize the latency. So I started singing softly and let him catch up with the guitar. And then we just did that little answer back and forth, because it still is, although some people don't, I've had a discussion with people in Zoom world, in folk world, that think it is possible to play together. It's not. It's not yet. We're very close, but it's not yet. Before we get out of here, I have another Sam Leopold song I want to play, but somebody asked me to play a John Prine tune, either last hang or the hang before, and I think it was in the chat room or it was in an email. I do not remember, but I had done a remote with Chris Tedesco, and I didn't get a chance to. Did I load it up? I didn't get a chance to load it up today, so I figured I would just play it. I would just play it acoustically, and then maybe I'll show you guys a little bit. George, I didn't tell George this yet. We had a catastrophe as far as the recording the audio. We didn't get audio from Merkin Concert Hall. So this year, I really can't make concert videos. I'm chopping up what you heard on the stream, but we don't have the drums and we don't have the bass, and the mix is the house mix essentially. So it's kind of a tragedy. But we have clips from the stream, so I'll get to show you guys late in the evening. That we did, because that was just fun. But let me do this. Let me do this song first. Somebody asked for this, and I think it might have been David in New Jersey. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol, and I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke. Yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck, and these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away the paper, move to the country, build me a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. You know, that key sound feels wonky. Little dancer, the time. Maybe let's try it there. Let me start that again. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol, and I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke. Yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck, and these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away the paper, move to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. Well, I sat there at the table and I acted real naive, 'cause I knew that topless lady had something up her sleeve. Well, she danced around the ballroom and she did the hoochie coo. Yeah, she sang her song all night long, telling me what to do. Blow up your TV, dance Willie, throw away the paper, move to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. Well, I was young and hungry and about to leave that place, when just as I was leaving, she looked me in the face. I said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but I give it a try. And to this very day, we've been living our way. And here is the reason why. We blew up a TV, we threw away the paper, we moved to the country, built us a home, had little children, fed them all peaches. They all found Jesus on their own. Yeah, better in G. All right, let me show you. Let me show you the a little clip from the. Well, let me ask this again. Show of hands. How many people were in Merkin Concert Hall for the concert? And how many people watched it online? All right, so like everybody saw the concert then. That's cool. That's cool. I got to tell you, Dean and his crew, Dean and Duval and Mike Brose, and I can't remember the guy's name, Robert, I think, did a fucking amazing job getting it out there to you guys. Who watched it online? Alan Suzanne in Colorado. How was the sound for you guys out there? It was good, right?
Yeah, it was perfect. Video and sound were wonderful.
Rock and roll. See that? We're getting better at this. All right, cool. So let me just share with you guys then the big cover song from this year. It's time for the big cover song. Wait, you haven't heard it yet. And I've been saying that that I've got a surprise this year for the big cover song. First time. Get it.
David goes electric.
Oh, this might be a bad idea, but it looks good. No. Okay, now, I told you, if anybody ever told you that you don't sing very well, what? That goes for dancing. All right? I mean it. You know, I'm part of the generation that killed dancing. I've said this before. I'm the generation that invented this. That was us. But it also gave you the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. All right? When they're on the dance floor. Wet your pants, for instance.
He was pointing at George, just so.
But so that goes, just follow your own heart, follow your lead, and if you think for a second you're going to be embarrassed, stop that. Ryan, kick us off. First thing I remember, I was lying in my bed. Couldn't have been no more than 1 or 2. And I remember there was a radio coming from the room next door. My mother laughed the way some ladies do. And it was late in the evening, and all the music seeping through
feeling alright with my boys, I'm with my troops. And down along the avenue, some guys are shooting pool, and I heard the pull of a cappella groups singing late in the evening, and all the girls were singing stoops.
So then I learned to play lead guitar when I was underage at some funky bar, and I stepped outside to smoke myself a J. When I got back in the room, well, all the people just seemed to move, and I turned my amp up loud and began to play. And it was late in the evening, yeah, and I blew that room away.
Oh, start a Congo line.
Next thing I remember, when you came into my life, I said I'm gonna get that girl no matter what I do. Well, I guess I've been in love before. I mean, once or twice I've been on the floor, but I never loved no one the way that I love you. And it was late in the evening, and all the music seeping through, yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
I need pictures.
That was so cool.
That was fun. That was fun. Oh my. All right, listen, guys. Listen, thanks. So we'll do a couple more songs. George, you got one more?
Yeah.
Oh, can't hear you. There you are.
Is that okay? Yeah. Let me.
I mean, while we got you here, it's great having you as a guest, man.
And I'm very, very happy that you've asked me to be here. I think this song has the distinction of the longest song I ever wrote. I keep hearing myself cutting out, and I
last fight?
Yeah, it seems worse than before. I wonder what's happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Give me one
You
second.
technical guys drive me nuts. Nah, worse.
Yeah. Let me try to play very slow. And there we go. In that summer I was working at the Brooklyn Zoo. Each and every evening when my work was through, I would grab a chair and I would sit with Hannibal. From tusk to tail, I love that animal. Hannibal, an elephant, was slow with age. 67 years ago, born in his cage. His time was near, and the cage was all he'd ever know. I had the keys, so I let him go. I told myself I didn't need to think this through, 'cause he'd had all those years to think what he would do. He did this little dance, then he raised his trunk to catch the wind. He caught the salt sea air, and off we went. I'd heard about a sacred place in Africa, where elephants will gather when their time has come. 1,000,000 years of instinct that no bars could hold. If I get him to the ocean, he might make it home. By the time we'd hit the streets, it looked like all of Brooklyn knew. 1,000 people joined us, we had work to do. Holding back the car, we were clearing out a road for him. Someone started singing, and we all joined in. And we sang, there goes Hannibal, he's going home. There goes Hannibal, he's going home. Policeman in a chopper watching from above saw Hannibal was shielded by a wall of love. And so they led the way. They shined a bright light down from where they flew. What a dazzling procession down Ocean Avenue. And we sang, there goes Hannibal, he's going home. There goes Hannibal, he's going home. The sun broke the horizon as we made the shore. The big guy did that little dance to our applause. Then he raised his head and faced the ocean's majesty. He took a mammoth breath and marched into the sea. The question, would he make it, was anybody's guess. But 1,000 thumping hearts beat out a resounding yes. Each year folks return to remember something wonderful and sing a song to Hannibal.
goes Hannibal, he's going home. There goes Hannibal, he's going home.
Thank you.
Oh man, such a beautiful song. We got to figure out the technical shit.
Yeah, I know.
Got to figure that out. But we will. We will. Oh, by the way, listen, George, absolutely welcome. Everybody is welcome. When these things are over, it's a weekend, so I don't know whose turn it is, but or how they divide it up now even. But after this is over, I put the guitar down, and then I pack up all this stuff, and then I'm done with the music. And somebody hosts a little hang where we just get together and just talk and get to know each other. Is anybody going to host the after hang today? Karen's got her hand up. All right, so that's Silver Sun's place. All right? So after this is over, see, there's in the chat room, there's a link that Karen just put in the link. And then Karen, well, I guess somebody will email it to me, either Sean or Karen or somebody, and because I don't know how to get it out of the chat room after this is over. But right now, if you feel like it, you can copy the link that's in the chat room, and everybody heads right over there. As soon as this is over, you can head right over there. I usually take about 15 minutes to break everything up, break everything down. And then I'll head over there. And right now, I'm looking in the little Brady Bunch box at Denise. She's in the kitchen. Hello. Making, I think, lasagna, right? All right, so maybe I'll be sitting in front of the camera with a plate of lasagna. But everybody's welcome there. And again, if anybody feels like it, I know most of you guys are patrons, but if you feel like throwing the price of a movie ticket or anything like that at this gig, if you go to thatguitarman.com, there's a thing that says support It's Just Us, and that's PayPal. And if you use Venmo, that's my Venmo handle down there. Venmo is at thatguitarman. All right, so if you feel like throwing a couple extra bucks at the gig, that's how you do it. But otherwise, I'll see some of you over. We'll do a couple more songs, then I'll see you guys over at the after hang at Silver Sun's place. Let's try this.
I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. If I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my lands. Oh, if I ever lose my hands, I won't have to work no more. If I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, I won't have to cry no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. If I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my legs, I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouth away. I won't have to talk. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. How did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. Moon shadow, moon shadow. You know what, George? We got to get you back, especially when we iron out the audio stuff. And you know what I could do? Before you come on next time, I'll hook you up with Brandon in Detroit. The young man, he's in his 30s. But he knows his shit. He knows everything. And he walks everybody through settings and patches and different programs and all that stuff. Definitely. But next time, we'll try to get, I know Karen sometimes jumps in with a song. Artie Poor out on Long Island jumps in with a song. Once in a while, Art Grossman up near the Boston area, he jumps in with a song. So we'll do that next time. I'll let you guys know on Facebook and on Patreon when the next hang is gonna be, because I gotta go to Florida. I said this last hang. My 58-year-old sister is getting married, and the rest of us in the family are just gobsmacked. We're like, why? But they want to be married, so she's getting married. So I'm going to Florida for that. So I'll let you know when the next hang is going to be. Before we get out of here, though, I want to share with you one more song by Sam Leopold that he wrote. It's got a little medieval thing going on, but it's kind of devilish about people like me who make music. I don't know if, in fact, next time we do this, I'll have to share with you guys. Some of you that hang out with me in the park saw the note that was left in my guitar case. I think this past summer. It might have been the summer before. In fact, Karen and Allie. Do you guys remember the note that said, "I owe you big time. You just got me so laid." Something like that.
2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
Not last year, 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I got to thank you, man. I owe you big time. Oh, it's here. Oh, wait a minute. Denise just came running. Where the hell was this? On the push the button table? Oh, no kidding. Oh, check this out. Hang on a second.
Eternal gratitude. I love it. You totally got me laid.
Hey, listen, that just fell out of my pocket. I didn't mean to.
It is your handwriting, George. That is so funny. You have my eternal gratitude. You totally got me laid. Your music, a bottle of wine, and a picnic blanket. Magic combination. I love that. Denise just found this. That's so cool. But so Sam, all right, that's a perfect lead-in. It's a perfect lead-in. This is a song that Sam Leopold wrote about guys like me who
get guys like that laid. It's called Troubadour, and the first time I ever heard this was at the Red Lion, and just knocked me over. Sung by Sam Leopold. Oh, and when it starts, don't think there's something wrong with your sound. He started it with a very gentle clap of thunder. And then it goes into the song. But it's a song called Troubadour.
In a tower high and mighty rode a man with a golden pen. He only told one story, but he told it again and again, about the days of glory when the troubadour came to play, and everyone got carried away. Each took a lover, then he took another. Mama took a lover, Papa took another. Everybody hiding, everybody seeking, everybody sneaking, all the kids are peeking. In the rushes by the river, under all the bridges, and around the castle grounds. Even in the dark corners of the churches, you could hear the lovers' sound. Oh, the troubadour, as is known in the lore, got his words from the gods above. You would hear his song, and before too long you'd be lost in the clutches of love. When the romance failed and the blushes paled and the troubadour rode away, the whole countryside was in disarray. Each took a lover, then he took another. Mama took a lover, Papa took another. Everybody hiding, everybody seeking, everybody sneaking, all the kids are peeking. In the rushes by the river, under all the bridges, and around the castle ground. Even in the dark corners of the churches, you could hear the lovers' song. Oh, the troubadour had a pair of pants, gabardine with a shimmering pleat. And the crowd would roar when he'd start to dance. They would jump right out of their seats. There were whores and there were maidens, there were children, there were priests. And the devil was there 'cause he loves a feast. Each took a lover, then he took another. Mama took a lover, Papa took another. Everybody hiding, everybody seeking, everybody sneaking, all the kids are peeking. In the rushes by the river, under all the bridges, and around the castle grounds. Even in the dark corners of the churches, you could hear the lovers' sound. There's a moral to the story when the morals fail in man. Troubadours in all their glory show up all over the land. Well, it ain't just auditory, it's an expert point of view. I'm a troubadour and I know what I do. Each took a lover, then he took another. Mama took a lover, Papa took another. Everybody hiding, everybody seeking, everybody sneaking, all the kids are peeking. In the rushes by the river, under all the bridges, and around the castle ground. Even in the dark corners of the churches, you could hear the lovers' sound.
Sam Leopold. I got a feeling Artie Poor. That's a song right in Artie's lane. I should get a copy of that to Artie and see how it sounds on an octave mandolin.
Hey, David, can I get a sec? It's too much
Absolutely.
to. Yeah, it's really to you and George. Beyond great entertainment, music, and camaraderie tonight, I didn't know Sam, but this hang was a moving tribute, honor, and remembrance of Sam as a musician, a person, and humanitarian. What you did was more profound than any eulogy you would have done if you had gotten to the funeral. So you're wonderful to have presented this from the heart and in a way to project Sam's life and spirit. And you should share this with his family and good friends, because you're the best regular friends a fellow musicians could have. You guys are great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
I mean, it was all from the heart. You just put it together and it was really moving, and I didn't know the man, but now I feel I really do. And that's an honor to him, his spirit, his soul, and his family. And
Wow.
You're blessed for that.
Well, you know, I thank you, man. I didn't think of that. We'll keep this recorded.
For sure.
and
His
get it-
family
get
would
it
so
to his
appreciate
family.
what you've done.
Didn't think of that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for the idea, and thank you
Thank
for the
you for
thought.
the
and
wonderful,
thanks,
wonderful
really,
evening
seriously,
and
from the
remembrance.
bottom of my heart. Wow. Okay, that's a wonderful thought. I say, you know, I can say this to anybody that's new. George, you don't hang out here that much, but what a nice group of people these are. All around right now, I'm looking. I say this all the time, but I'm just blown away that I don't even see page 2, but I'm going to go down the list. I see Willie in Maine, Zoe in North Carolina, Angelique in the Netherlands, Allie's on the east side, Eveline is in Switzerland, Marcy and Stuart are down in Maryland, Karen's in Washington Heights, George is out in Brooklyn, Katie's on the east side, right, Katie? West side? West side. Cheetah is in the Netherlands. Nancy's in New Jersey. Jackie and Jake are in Florida. Al and Suzanne are in Colorado. Lucy and Al are down in West Virginia. Artie's out on Long Island. Steven's out on Long Island. Sal and Mary are here in New York. Kathy's out in Vegas. Valerie's out in Chicago. And that's just page 1. We got the fucking world covered. And you guys are all nice people. Everybody's a character, but man, oh man, I'm the biggest character of all. Denise is in the kitchen making lasagna. So I tell you what, when we go to the after hang, and I put the guitar down, I'm probably gonna be hanging out with you guys from the kitchen, which is okay, because during that last song by Sam Leopold, I was in the kitchen and it smells, what's the word? Fucking unbelievable. So let me do this song. And you know what? I wasn't planning on it. Let's do one more song that I wrote, and here we go. Because seriously, Stuart, thank you so much, man. Let's dedicate this to everybody I see right now on the screen. I've met people everywhere, some from here and some from there. By now I'd bet it's more than quite a few. Nearly every woman and every man I've met just does the best they can to understand the things we all go through. But there are those who just don't care, who try to grab more than their share of everything, and they're all out there too. So I don't take for granted I'm
a man who gets to spend his time with people in this world like you. Like you, Stuart and Marcy. Like you, Eveline in Switzerland. And Allie. Angelique. So often it can seem today, so many feel like it's okay to celebrate the darkness in our hearts. And then they wonder why we see such hatred and disharmony. To me, that's just exactly where it starts. And for others, fear can hide the way, sadly unaware that they allow it to dictate the things they do. But I've no reason to despair, as long as I still know that there are people in this world like you. And then the beautiful thing here is George can play with himself. I guess things are just the way they are. In many ways we've come so far, and still I'm sure we've all got more to do. But I can open up my heart and say I'm grateful every single day for people in this world like you. Sweet people in this world like you. Next hang, by the way, Jackie, thanks so much. Jackie in Florida, thanks so much for shooting me that article about Richard Greenberg. I shared on the last hang that I just went to see Take Me Out on Broadway, and directed by Scott Ellis. And I went to see it with John Lithgow's son, Ian Lithgow, because we're trying to get my script, The Green Room, into the hands of Scott Ellis, the director. But Jackie sends me an article. I was totally unaware. Richard Greenberg, the playwright who wrote Take Me Out, was in Jackie's class in East Meadow High School. That means technically I went to high school with the cat. I was a senior when he was a sophomore. So I should probably reach out to Richard as well. It's a wonderful play. Two things, my highest recommendations. The film, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. The documentary about Charlie Mackesy. And Take Me Out by Richard Greenberg, directed by Scott Ellis. And absolutely anything by Sam Leopold or George Wurzbach. It takes a life to realize what life is all about. And life is all about this moment. I'm here with you now that we're through. What secrets did I tell? Did you get to know me well in this moment? How fast These days fly, song after song goes rushing by. I won't pretend that time has been my friend. I bring my songs to sing my songs for you until the end. And as I live these days, I'm grateful for all the ways that brought us here to praise this moment. This moment. How soon, too soon, the seasons fly. I see my life go rushing by. I only wish the time had been Sam's friend. We live a life, to live a life of love, I know you see. Pretty sure you all agree, 'cause you're hanging out with me. But I only guarantee this moment. Guys, listen, thanks so much for hanging out. George, thank you so much for showing up, my brother.
And, I'm gonna destroy this wonderful mood you just created to ask. You could show everyone the figuring as you drop down from the E minor.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay, might as well. In fact, this is one of those, okay. What secrets did I tell? Did you get to know me well? This is one of the secrets, that if you ever see me doing this song on stage and I turn stage right and smile lovingly at George, it's because one time in rehearsal, he pointed out that as I end that song, it goes, and he pointed out that I'm giving you guys the finger every time I'm ending that song. So now I just gently turn to George. Thanks for doing that, George. It's always good to end on a laugh. So I'll see you guys. Well, I don't know when I'm going to see you here next, but I will let you know on Facebook and I will let you know on Patreon. But tonight, in just about 15, 20 minutes, you guys can head over there right now. Karen put the link for Silver Sun. It's in the chat room. All right. So just go there, and you can go there now, or in a couple of minutes, and then I will see you there in about 15 or 20 minutes. All right. Hopefully with a plate of lasagna. George, thank you so much for showing up, man. We're gonna do this again, and everybody. Go to YouTube, look for George Wurzbach. Go to iTunes, look for George Wurzbach. Buy all his stuff, and now you can look for Sam Leopold as well. All right? Guys, I'll see you in a little bit. I'll leave this running for a little while so you can say goodbye to each other, and then Sean can shut it down whenever. All right? Talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you,
David.
George.
Thanks, David.
All right,
Thanks,
David,
bye,
just
everybody.
make me the host.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
Thank you, David.
Bye-bye.
Night-night.
Everybody.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thanks, Stuart. That was wonderful. Thank you.
So we could share it.
Yeah, special.